Admiral Jake Morrison walked into the command center deep under the Rocky Mountains. The room was filled with screens showing space around Earth. His coffee was still warm, but he knew this would be a very long day. "Sir, we have multiple contacts at the edge of our solar system," said Commander Lisa Hayes. She pointed at the main screen where red dots appeared near Pluto's orbit. 37 ships, all unknown designs. Jake nodded. He had been expecting this for 20 years. "Any communication attempts?" "Yes, sir. They're broadcasting on all frequencies. The message is not friendly." The main screen changed to show an alien face. It had blue skin, 4 eyes, and no nose. When it spoke, the translation computer made its voice sound cold and angry. "People of Earth, I am High Commander Zelk of the Galactic Confederation. Your species has been judged dangerous to all civilized life. You have 72 hours to surrender completely. If you refuse, we will destroy your planet and everyone on it. This is not a negotiation. This is justice." The message ended. The command center was quiet for a moment. Captain Ryan Brooks broke the silence. "Sir, should we reply?" Jake smiled. It was not a happy smile. "Not yet. Lisa, activate Protocol 7. Send the codes to all stations." Lisa's fingers moved quickly over her controls. Protocol 7 activated. All stations are responding. Around the world, things began to change. In the Nevada desert, what looked like a normal mountain split open. Inside, massive machines started to hum with power. Under the ice in Antarctica, sealed doors opened for the first time in decades. On the moon, craters that seemed empty suddenly showed lights and movement. Dr. Amanda Foster entered the command center. She was the head of something called the Terra Defense Initiative. Most people had never heard of it, but she had been planning for this day since she was a young scientist. "How long until they're in attack position?" she asked. 48 hours if they maintain current speed," Ryan answered. Amanda nodded. "That gives us time. Jake, are you ready to show them what they've asked for?" The aliens thought they knew about humans. They had watched Earth for 50 years. They saw the wars, the fighting, the violence. They decided humans were too dangerous to live alongside peaceful species. What they didn't understand was why humans fought so much. They thought it was because humans loved violence. They were wrong. Humans fought because they were always getting ready for something bigger. Every war taught them something new. Every battle made them stronger. Every defeat showed them what not to do next time. The Galactic Confederation had studied human history. They saw World War II and thought humans were primitive. They saw the Cold War and thought humans were paranoid. They saw smaller conflicts and thought humans couldn't work together. They missed the point completely. Jake walked to another screen, showing the hidden base on Mars. "Colonel Kevin Martinez, report." A man in a military uniform appeared on the screen. Behind him, Jake could see workers moving around huge weapons that definitely weren't built with Earth technology. "Base 7 is ready, sir. All weapons are online. The fleet is prepared for launch on your order." "Fleet?" Jake asked, though he already knew the answer. 43 ships, sir. All invisible to their scanners, all armed with weapons they've never seen before. The aliens had made their first mistake when they announced their attack. They gave humans time to get ready. Their second mistake was thinking humans would be afraid. Captain Nicole Turner's voice came from another screen. She was on a space station hidden in the asteroid belt. "Admiral, long-range scouts report the alien fleet is moving in standard formation. They're not even trying to hide." "They don't think they need to," Jake said. "They believe we're helpless." "Doctor." Patricia Wong joined the conversation from her laboratory under the Pacific Ocean. "Sir, the new weapon systems are ready for testing. We've improved on their own technology in ways they never imagined. The aliens thought they were fighting primitive humans with simple weapons. They had no idea that humans had been taking apart every piece of alien technology they could find for decades. Every crashed ship, every broken device, every scrap of alien metal had been studied, understood, and made better." Major Susan Clark reported from the lunar base. "All defense systems are active. The railguns are charged and ready. They still think we only have chemical rockets. Jake laughed. Let them think that. How many ships do we have hidden around the solar system? 112 combat vessels, sir, plus 300 automated defense platforms, all invisible to their scanners. The Galactic Confederation had sent 37 ships to destroy Earth. They thought that was more than enough to handle a primitive planet. They had no idea that humans had been building a secret space navy for 20 years. Admiral Troy Bennett's face appeared on another screen. He was commanding a ship near Jupiter that the aliens couldn't see. Admiral Morrison, the Defiance is ready. All squadron leaders are standing by. Good. Remember, we don't start shooting until they enter the inner system. I want them close, enough to see what we really are. The hours passed slowly. The alien fleet moved closer to Earth. They sent more messages demanding surrender. Each message was more threatening than the last. Jake ignored them all. Commander Ashley Garcia was monitoring alien communications. Sir, they're talking to each other. They think this will be easy. They're planning what to do with Earth after they kill everyone. What are they saying? They want to turn it into a vacation planet for their people. They think the beaches are nice. Jake's smile got colder. A vacation planet, how thoughtful of them. The alien fleet reached the outer planets. They moved past Neptune, then Uranus. They were taking their time, probably trying to scare the humans into giving up. It wasn't working. Lisa looked up from her console. Sir, all our people are ready. Every base, every ship, every weapon system is online and waiting. Any word from the President? She says to give them hell, sir. Jake nodded. The President had been part of the planning from the beginning. She knew what was coming. Major Eric Johnson called from the far side of the moon. Admiral, they just passed Saturn. They're still in standard formation. No scouts, no advance guard. They really think we're helpless. That's exactly what we want them to think. Everyone hold position. Let them get close. The aliens had declared war on humanity. They thought they were destroying a planet of primitive fighters. Instead, they had just given permission to the most dangerous species in the galaxy to do what it did best. Earth was ready. The galaxy was about to learn why that was a very bad thing for anyone who threatened human lives. General Nathan Cross sat in his office deep inside a mountain in Colorado. Outside, people thought it was just another military base. Inside, it was the heart of something the aliens had never imagined. His computer showed a simple message. Protocol 7 active, all units respond. Nathan picked up his phone. This is General Cross, wake up the sleeping giants. Around the world, things that had been hidden for decades started to move. In the Sahara Desert, sand fell away from metal doors that hadn't opened in 20 years. Under the Amazon rainforest, trees moved aside as huge platforms rose from the ground. Captain Nicole Turner was on the space station called Haven. It looked like a small research station to anyone watching. Really, it was a command center for the largest space fleet in the galaxy. All ships report ready, she said into her radio. The alien fleet is 12 hours from the inner system. In space around Earth, invisible ships waited. The aliens couldn't see them because human technology had learned to bend light and hide from sensors. Each ship was armed with weapons that used alien science but made better by human engineering. Lieutenant Colonel Kevin Martinez walked through the Mars base. Workers were loading weapons onto ships that had been built in secret over 10 years. The base was hidden inside what looked like a natural canyon, but was really a shipyard bigger than anything on Earth. How many ships are ready for launch? He asked his assistant. 57 combat ships, sir, plus the supply vessels and the special weapons platforms. Kevin smiled. The aliens thought humans only had a few small rockets. They had no idea that humans had been building starships using alien technology for years. Major Susan Clark was on the moon, watching Earth through a window. Below her, the lunar base stretched for miles underground. Railguns pointed toward space, ready to fire metal, slugs at incredible speed. All weapons charged and ready, she reported. The mass drivers are loaded with special ammunition. The special ammunition was something Dr. Patricia Wong had designed. It looked like simple metal, but when it hit something, It would explode, with the power of a nuclear bomb. Dr. Patricia Wong was in her laboratory under the Pacific Ocean. Around her, scientists worked on weapons that broke the rules of physics. They had learned to make energy do impossible things, to twist space itself into a weapon. The quantum disruption devices are ready, she told her team. If we fire these at their ships, their computers will simply stop working. Her assistant looked worried. Are you sure this will work? We tested it on captured alien technology. Their ships will become floating metal boxes. Colonel Rachel Murphy was at a base in Alaska that didn't exist on any map. Above ground, it looked like empty wilderness. Below ground, it was a fortress, filled with weapons that could shoot down spaceships. Ground-based defenses are active, she reported. All railgun positions are hidden and ready. The railguns were built into mountains and hills. From space, they looked like natural rock formations. When they fired, they could put a metal slug into orbit in 3 seconds. Admiral Troy Bennett stood on the bridge of the EDS Defiance. The ship was hidden in Jupiter's shadow, completely invisible to alien sensors. It was twice as big as the largest alien ship and armed with weapons they had never seen before. All squadron leaders, report status, he ordered. One by one, ship. Captains reported ready. Each ship had been built using captured alien technology, but improved by human engineering. They were faster, stronger, and more deadly than anything the aliens had. Commander Ashley Garcia was the ship's tactical officer. She was studying the alien fleet as it moved toward Earth. Sir, they're still in standard formation. No scouts ahead. No ships watching their flanks. They think they're safe. What's their standard attack pattern? They surround the planet and fire from all sides. It's worked on every world they've conquered. Troy nodded. It won't work on Earth. Do they know about our hidden ships? No, sir. Their sensors can't detect our stealth technology. The aliens had conquered 12 worlds using the same strategy every time. They would appear, demand surrender, then destroy everything when the planet refused. It had worked because no one had been ready for them. Earth was different. Earth had been getting ready for this fight for 20 years. Major Eric Johnson was on the dark side of the moon, commanding a base that looked like a crater. Inside the FAR crater, weapons waited that could destroy a spaceship from 1,000,000 miles away. Lunar defense grid is online, he reported. All automated systems are ready to fire on your command. Dr. Amanda Foster was back on Earth, coordinating everything from the main command center. She had spent her whole career preparing for this day. All stations, this is control. The alien fleet will enter the inner system in 6 hours. Remember, we let them get close. We want them to think they're winning. Captain Danny Rodriguez was commanding a group of fighters hidden in the asteroid belt. His ships looked like rocks to alien sensors, but each one carried enough firepower to destroy a battleship. Rodriguez squadron ready, he reported. We can hit them from behind when they attack Earth. The aliens had studied human space technology and decided it was primitive. They had seen the rockets that took people to the moon and laughed. They didn't know that those rockets were just for show. The real human space fleet had been built in secret using alien technology taken from crashed ships and captured devices. Every piece of alien equipment that humans had found over 50 years had been taken apart, studied, and improved. Commander Carl Washington was on a ship near Saturn. His job was to attack the alien supply lines after the battle started. Washington. Group is in position, he said. We're ready to cut off their retreat. Major Victoria Stone commanded the orbital defense platforms around Earth. They looked like space junk to alien sensors, but each one was actually a weapons platform loaded with missiles. All defense platforms report ready, she said. If any alien ship gets past our fleet, we'll stop them. The aliens thought they were attacking a helpless planet with primitive defenses. They had no idea that Earth was the most heavily defended world in the galaxy. Captain Greg Walsh was commanding the ships near Pluto. His job was to attack the alien fleet from the outside, while other ships hit them from different directions. Walsh, squadron reports all ships ready, he said. We can start the attack whenever you give the order. Lieutenant Commander Julia Adams was monitoring alien communications from a ship hidden in the rings of Saturn. Sir, they're still talking like this will be easy, she reported. They're planning which parts of Earth they want to visit after. they win. General Nathan Cross looked at all the reports coming in. Every human ship, every weapon, every soldier was ready. "Admiral Morrison," he said into his radio. "This is General Cross. All ground-based and space-based forces report ready. We have 173 combat ships in position around the solar system. Every weapon system is online. Every soldier knows their job." Jake Morrison's voice came back. "Thank you, General. It's time to show the galaxy what happens when they threaten human lives." The aliens were 4 hours away from Earth. They still thought they were going to win an easy battle against primitive humans. They had no idea that they had just flown into the most dangerous trap in galactic history. Captain Danny Rodriguez watched the alien fleet through his ship's sensors. They were moving in a straight line toward Earth, just like every military textbook said they would. No creativity, no surprises, no tactical thinking. "This is Rodriguez, Squadron," he said into his radio. "Alien fleet is entering the inner system. They're following pattern alpha exactly as predicted. The humans had studied every alien battle for 50 years. They knew exactly how these creatures fought. The aliens always did the same thing because it had always worked before." Admiral Jake Morrison's voice came over the radio. "All units, this is Morrison. Wait for my signal. Let them get close enough to see Earth clearly." Colonel Rachel Murphy was deep underground in Alaska watching her screens. The railguns around her were hidden inside what looked like normal mountains. Each gun could fire a metal slug fast enough to punch through any alien ship. "Ground defense network is tracking the enemy fleet," she reported. "All weapons are aimed and ready to fire." The aliens were 1 hour away from Earth. Their ships were spread out in a perfect circle, just like their training manual said to do. They had never fought an enemy that knew their tactics. Captain Nicole Turner was on the space station Haven, coordinating the human fleet. Around the solar system, invisible ships waited for the order to attack. "All squadrons report ready," she said. "The enemy has no idea we're here." Admiral Troy Bennett stood on the bridge of the EDS Defiance, hidden behind Jupiter's largest moon. His ship was bigger and more powerful than anything the aliens had, but they couldn't see it on their sensors. "Bennett's squadron ready for attack," he reported. "We can hit them from behind when the shooting starts." Commander Ashley Garcia was studying the alien formation. "Sir, they're doing exactly what we expected. No scouts, no rear guard, no defensive positions. They think this will be easy." The aliens had conquered 12 worlds using fear and overwhelming force. They would appear, demand surrender, then destroy everything when the planet said no. No world had ever been ready to fight back. Earth was about to show them what happened when someone was ready. Major Susan Clark was on the lunar surface, commanding weapons that looked like rock formations. The moon was covered with hidden guns, missile launchers, and defensive systems. "Lunar defense grid is locked onto targets," she reported. "All weapons are charged and ready." Dr. Patricia Wong was in her underwater laboratory, monitoring the special weapons she had designed. They used alien technology, but improved by human science to do things the aliens had never imagined. "Quantum disruption weapons are ready," she said. "When we fire these, their ships will lose all power." The alien fleet was 30 minutes from Earth orbit. Their leader, High Commander Zelk, was probably getting ready to demand Earth's surrender one last time. He was going to get a very different answer than he expected. Lieutenant Colonel Kevin Martinez was on Mars, watching 57 human warships launch from hidden bases. The ships rose from what looked like empty canyons and rock formations. "Mars Squadron is launching," he reported. "All ships are invisible to enemy sensors and armed with advanced weapons." Major Eric Johnson was on the dark side of the moon, commanding automated defense systems that could think and fight on their own. "Automated defense network is active," he said. "All systems are ready to engage multiple targets." The aliens reached Earth's orbit. Their ships formed a perfect circle around the planet, just like they had done 12 times before on 12 different worlds. High Commander Zelk's face appeared on screens around the world. "People of Earth, your time is over. Surrender now, or we will destroy your planet." Admiral Jake Morrison's voice came over every radio frequency in the solar system. It wasn't just talking to Earth. Every alien ship could hear him too. Hi, Commander Zelk. This is Admiral Morrison of the Earth Defense Force. You have entered our solar system without permission and threatened our world. You have exactly 10 seconds to leave, or we will show you why that was a mistake. Zelk laughed. You have no defense force. Our sensors show only a few primitive rockets. Then your sensors need better glasses, Jake said. All units, this is Morrison. Light them up. Everything changed at once. The invisible human fleet suddenly appeared on every sensor in the solar system. Ships materialized from empty space around the alien formation. The aliens found themselves surrounded by a force twice as large as their own. Captain Danny Rodriguez led the first attack. His squadron came out of the asteroid belt moving faster than alien ships could travel. Their weapons fired beams of energy that cut through alien hulls like paper. Rodriguez squadron engaging, he reported. 3 alien ships destroyed, no human casualties. The railguns hidden in Earth's mountains opened fire. Metal slugs moving at incredible speed smashed into alien ships. Each impact created explosions that could be seen from space. Colonel Rachel Murphy watched her weapons destroy target after target. Ground defense network firing. Multiple hits confirmed. Admiral Troy Bennett brought the Defiance and his squadron out from behind Jupiter. The massive human ships opened fire with weapons the aliens had never seen before. Bennett's squadron engaging from the rear, he reported. The aliens are trapped between us and the Earth forces. Commander Ashley Garcia coordinated the attack from the Defiance's bridge. Sir, their formation is collapsing. They're trying to retreat, but Walsh squadron is blocking their escape route. Captain Greg Walsh and his ships appeared near Pluto, cutting off the alien retreat. Walsh squadron has the back door covered. No one leaves without our permission. Dr. Patricia Wong fired her quantum disruption weapons from the underwater laboratory. Beams of twisted energy hit the alien ships, and their computers simply stopped working. Quantum weapons firing, she reported. Enemy ships are losing power and life support. Major Susan Clark's lunar weapons joined the attack. Missiles and energy beams streamed from the moon toward the alien fleet. Lunar defense grid engaging. Multiple targets eliminated. The battle was not going as the aliens had planned. They had expected to face primitive humans with simple weapons. Instead, they were fighting the most advanced military force in the galaxy. Commander Carl Washington attacked the alien supply ships that were trying to run away. His squadron destroyed them before they could escape and warn other alien forces. Supply vessels eliminated, he reported. No enemy ships are getting away to report what happened here. Lieutenant Commander Julia Adams was jamming alien communications from her hidden ship. Sir, they can't call for help. We're blocking all their signals. High Commander Zelk tried to retreat with his remaining ships, but Major Victoria Stone's orbital defense platforms opened fire. Hidden weapons that looked like space junk suddenly revealed themselves as deadly gun platforms. Orbital defenses engaging, Victoria reported. Enemy flagship is taking heavy damage. The aliens had brought 37 ships to destroy Earth. In 20 minutes, 34 of them were destroyed or disabled. The remaining 3 ships were surrounded by human forces. Admiral Jake Morrison's voice came over the radio again. Hi, Commander Zelk. This is your last chance. Surrender now or join your friends. Zelk's voice was shaking with fear and anger. This is impossible. You're supposed to be primitives. Our intelligence said you only had chemical rockets. Your intelligence was wrong, Jake said. We've been studying you for 50 years. We know everything about how you fight, what weapons you use, and how you think. You never bothered to really study us. What do you want? Zelk asked. Right now, I want you to surrender. After that, you're going to take a message back to your Confederation. Tell them what happened here. Tell them that Earth is under the protection of the human race, and anyone who threatens human lives will get the same treatment you just got. One by one, the remaining alien ships powered down their weapons and surrendered. The battle was over. The galaxy had declared war on humanity and lost in less than an hour. But this was just the beginning. High Commander Zelk sat in the detention cell aboard the EDS Defiance, staring at the walls. 3 days ago, he had been commanding a fleet sent to destroy a primitive planet. Now he was a prisoner of the species he had thought were helpless. Admiral, Troy Bennett entered the cell with Commander Ashley Garcia. They brought a chair and sat down across from the alien commander. "Tell me about the Galactic Confederation," Troy said. Zelk's 4 eyes looked at him with a mixture of fear and confusion. "Why do you want to know? You have already won?" "This was just one battle," Ashley explained. "We want to understand what we're really facing." Zelk was quiet for a moment, then he started talking. "The Confederation controls 47 star systems. We have over 300 worlds with intelligent life. Our military has 5,000 ships and has never lost a war." Troy and Ashley looked at each other. The human space fleet had less than 200 ships, even counting the ones still being built. "Tell us about your other wars," Troy said. Zelk seemed confused by the question. "Wars? We do not have wars. We have law enforcement actions." "Explain." "When a species becomes too dangerous, we remove them. It is simple. We arrive, we demand surrender, we destroy resistance. Most species surrender immediately when they see our power." Ashley leaned forward. "What makes a species too dangerous?" "Fighting among themselves, building weapons, showing aggression toward other species. These are signs of a violent nature that threatens galactic peace." Troy almost laughed. "So you destroy species for being violent by using violence. It is different when we do it. We are civilized. We do it for the greater good." Meanwhile, on Earth, Admiral Jake Morrison was in a meeting with world leaders. President Maria Santos was asking the hard questions. "How many ships do they really have?" she asked. Dr. Amanda Foster answered from her seat at the table. "According to the intelligence we gathered from their computers, Zelk was telling the truth. 5,000 ships spread across 47 systems. And we have 173 combat ships plus about 50 support vessels." The room was quiet for a moment. General Nathan Cross spoke up. "Numbers aren't everything, we just proved that. Our ships are better, our tactics are superior, and we understand how they think." Captain Nicole Turner joined the meeting by video, link from the space station Haven. "Sir, we've been analyzing the alien ships we captured. Their technology is actually less advanced than ours in many ways." "Explain," Jake said. "They've had the same basic technology for over 1,000 years. They never needed to improve it because no one ever fought back. Their ships are big and powerful, but they're not smart. Our ships can think, adapt, and learn during battle." Dr. Patricia Wong appeared on another screen from her underwater laboratory. "I've been studying their weapon systems. They're designed for overwhelming force against helpless targets, not for fighting an equal opponent. Their energy shields can't handle multiple types of attack at the same time." Lieutenant Colonel Kevin Martinez called in from Mars. "Sir, I've been talking to the alien prisoners. They're scared, but they're also confused. They don't understand why we fight so much among ourselves if we're not really violent." "What do you mean?" Jake asked. "They think our wars are proof that we're savage and uncontrolled. They don't understand that we fight to get better at fighting. Every human war taught us something new about tactics, strategy, or technology." Colonel Rachel Murphy was monitoring communications from around the galaxy. "Admiral, we're picking up transmissions from Confederation space. Word about what happened here is spreading." "What are they saying?" "They're scared. Some species are asking questions about why the Confederation attacked us. Others are wondering if they're next." Captain Danny Rodriguez was leading patrols around the solar system with his squadron. "Sir, we found something interesting. The aliens left spy satellites throughout our system. They've been watching us for decades." Admiral Jake Morrison felt angry. "They've been spying on us while planning our destruction." "Yes, sir, but there's more. The data from these satellites shows they completely misunderstood what they were seeing." "How so?" "They watched our wars and saw chaos. They didn't see the learning, the adaptation, the constant improvement. They thought we were just violent, animals fighting randomly." Major Susan Clark was coordinating with scientists who were studying captured alien technology. "Admiral, we're learning how their society works. It's nothing like ours." "Explain." "They have a rigid system where every species has a specific role. Some are builders, some are farmers, some are soldiers. No one is allowed to change roles or improve their assigned function." Dr. Amanda Foster looked up from her notes. That explains why their technology never advances. They're not allowed to innovate or think differently. Commander Carl Washington was interrogating more alien prisoners. Sir, I'm getting a clearer picture of how they choose targets. Any species that develops spaceflight gets watched. If that species shows signs of aggression or independence, they get marked for destruction. What counts as aggression? Having a military, fighting wars, refusing to join their system, or developing new technology they haven't approved. Jake Morrison realized something. They don't just want to control the galaxy, they want to stop it from growing or changing. President Maria Santos looked around the room. So, what do we do now? We can't fight 5,000 ships with 200. General, Nathan Cross smiled. We don't have to fight them all at once. We fight them the way humans have always fought when outnumbered, which is, we make them come to us. We choose the battles. We make them fight on our terms instead of theirs. Captain Greg Walsh called in from his position near Pluto. Admiral, I'm getting reports from our long-range scouts. Confederation ships are massing in 3 nearby systems. It looks like they're preparing a much larger attack. Jake nodded. How long until they're ready? Best guess 3 months, but sir, there's something else. Our scouts are also detecting transmissions from other species. It sounds like some of them want to help us. Dr. Patricia Wong looked excited. That makes sense. If the Confederation has been suppressing technological development for 1,000 years, there must be species that want to break free. Admiral Troy Bennett's voice came over the radio from the Defiance. Admiral Morrison, I think we need to change our strategy. We're not just fighting for Earth anymore. We're fighting for the freedom of the entire galaxy. Colonel Rachel Murphy looked up from her communications console. Sir, we're getting a message from a species called the Vorthan. They say they want to meet with us. What do they want? They want to join us in fighting the Confederation. Apparently, they've been forced to serve as slave laborers for 300 years. Jake Morrison looked around the room at his officers and advisors. 3 days ago, they had been preparing to defend Earth from alien invaders. Now they were being asked to lead a galactic revolution. Gentlemen and ladies, he said, it looks like we're not just defending our world anymore. We're about to become the leaders of a rebellion that could free the entire galaxy. The aliens had declared war on humanity, expecting an easy victory. Instead, they had awakened something they never expected: hope. For the first time in 1,000 years, the oppressed species of the galaxy had someone willing and able to fight back. The real war was just beginning. 6 months after the first battle, Admiral Jake Morrison stood on the bridge of the captured Confederation flagship. The ship had been renamed the EDS Freedom, and it now served as the command center for something the galaxy had never seen before: a united resistance against the Confederation. Admiral, incoming transmission from the Vorthan fleet, said Commander Lisa Hayes. The main screen showed Captain Keth, a Vorthan commander whose people had been slaves for 300 years. His species looked like tall humans with green skin and extra arms, but they fought with the courage of lions. Admiral Morrison, the Vorthan Third Fleet reports ready for the assault on Zenthera Prime, Keth said. Jake nodded. Thank you, Captain. What about the other Allied forces? The Kelvin resistance groups are in position. The freed Mirian colonies have sent their entire space fleet. Even some of the Helix people have joined us, and they haven't fought a war in 500 years. General Nathan Cross appeared on another screen from his command center on Earth. Jake, the latest count shows we now have over 800 ships from 23 different species. The Confederation never expected their former slaves to work together. It had taken 6 months to build the alliance. When word spread about Earth's victory, oppressed species across the galaxy had started reaching out. Some wanted weapons, others wanted training, and many just wanted hope. Dr. Amanda Foster had become the Alliance's chief strategist. She appeared on screen from the new command center on Luna. The Confederation is in full retreat from the outer systems, she reported. They're pulling back to their core worlds and trying to regroup. Captain Nicole Turner was commanding the space station that now served as a training center for Allied forces. Admiral, we've trained over 50,000 alien soldiers in human tactics. They're learning fast. The humans had quickly discovered that other species were just as capable of fighting as humans were. They had just never been allowed to learn how Admiral Troy Bennett called in from the EDS Defiance, which was leading the assault on a Confederation stronghold. Jake, we just liberated the prison world of Kalar 7. We freed over 2 million people who had been slaves for generations. Any resistance? The Confederation garrison surrendered as soon as they saw our ships. Word is spreading that fighting us is pointless. Commander Ashley Garcia had become the Alliance's intelligence chief. Sir, we're intercepting Confederation communications. They're panicking. They've never faced organized resistance before. The Confederation had ruled through fear for 1,000 years. When that fear was broken, their whole system started to fall apart. Captain Danny Rodriguez was leading a mixed squadron of human and alien ships. Admiral, we just finished liberating the Tharsis mining colonies. The Confederation forces ran away before we even got there. Major Susan Clark was training alien forces on the moon. Sir, the new recruits are amazing. Once they understand that they're allowed to think for themselves and make tactical decisions, they become excellent soldiers. The humans had learned something important. The galaxy was full of intelligent, capable species who had been held back by the Confederation's rigid system. When they were free to use their abilities, they were formidable allies. Dr. Patricia Wong had been working with alien scientists to develop new technologies. Admiral, the combined knowledge of all these species is incredible. We're developing weapons and defenses that are years ahead of anything the Confederation has. Lieutenant Colonel Kevin Martinez was commanding the defense of the liberated worlds. Sir, the former Confederation subjects are building their own defense fleets. They never want to be slaves again. Colonel Rachel Murphy was monitoring Confederation communications. Admiral, we're picking up surrender requests from 12 more systems. They want to join the Alliance rather than keep fighting. The war had turned into something no one had expected. Instead of destroying humanity, the Confederation had created the spark that ignited a galaxy-wide revolution. Captain Greg Walsh was leading diplomatic missions to neutral systems. Admiral, the neutral zone species want to meet with us. They're tired of living in fear of the Confederation. Commander Carl Washington was helping to establish new governments on liberated worlds. Sir, these people are so grateful to be free. They're working together in ways the Confederation never allowed. Major Victoria Stone was coordinating humanitarian aid to the freed worlds. Admiral, we're setting up medical centers, schools, and communication networks. These people are rebuilding their entire civilization. Admiral Jake Morrison looked at the tactical display showing the current state of the galaxy. Green markers showed Allied territory. Red showed Confederation strongholds, and yellow showed neutral or contested systems. 6 months ago, the entire galaxy had been red. Now more than half was green, and the red areas were shrinking every day. Admiral, said Lisa Hayes, incoming transmission from High Commander Zelk. Jake was surprised. Put him through. Zelk's face appeared on the screen. He looked tired and defeated. Admiral Morrison, I am authorized to discuss terms of surrender. Surrender? I thought the Confederation never surrendered. The Confederation Council has voted to end hostilities and negotiate a peaceful transition of power. We cannot fight the entire galaxy. Jake looked around at his officers. This was not how he had expected the war to end. What are your terms? He asked. We will disband our military forces and release all remaining subject worlds. In exchange, we ask for safe passage to our home systems and the right to exist as an independent but non-aggressive civilization. General Nathan Cross appeared on another screen. Admiral, our intelligence suggests this is genuine. They've lost over 80% of their territory and most of their fleet. Dr. Amanda Foster joined the conversation. The question is, what do we do with the galaxy now that we've freed it? President Maria Santos appeared from Earth. Admiral Morrison, the United Nations has been discussing this with our allies. We think the galaxy needs a new kind of government, one based on cooperation instead of domination. Captain Keth of the Vorthans spoke up. Admiral, my people and many others want you humans to lead this new government. You freed us. You taught us how to be free. Jake shook his head. We didn't free you to rule you. We freed you so you could rule yourselves. Then what do you propose? Asked another alien ally. A council, Jake said. Representatives from every free world. Decisions made by cooperation, not force. Each species gets to decide how they want to live. Admiral Troy Bennett's voice came over the radio. Admiral, I like it. A galactic democracy instead of a galactic empire. 6 months later, Jake Morrison stood in the great assembly hall on the neutral world of Harmony Station. Around him sat representatives from over 200 worlds, all free to speak their minds and vote their conscience. The Galactic Council is now in session, announced the speaker, a wise alien from a species that had been enslaved for 800 years. First order of business, the application for membership from the former Confederation core worlds. Jake smiled as he watched former enemies and former slaves working together to build something new. The galaxy had declared war on humanity, expecting to destroy a single world. Instead, they had awakened a species that turned that war into a revolution for freedom. And when the fighting was over, humans had given the galaxy something it had never had before, the chance to choose its own destiny. The aliens had learned that when humans grinned in the face of impossible odds, it meant they were about to do the impossible. The impossible, in this case, had been freeing an entire galaxy and then giving it back to its people. Earth was safe. The galaxy was free. And humanity had found its place among the stars not as conquerors but as liberators and protectors. The universe was a much better place than it had been a year ago, and it was getting better every day.